So as we cut back in here, before we jump back into the game, I think everybody has a free turn again, except... Did Connor just go? Is that what it was?
I just went. I was doing the last turn, right? Of that round?
It was...
No, I thought it was a new turn of the third round. I thought that's what you were doing. No?
No, I did it right after the fight.
So anybody can go.
Okay.
Before we do that, I want to talk about this game. You know, like, this is a game we could clearly have played in an hour and a half, or we could play it for several more hours. There's no dice rolling involved. I mean, if we were there, we'd physically be flipping a coin. That's it. I think it's quite different from D&D. I'm playing a lot as the host, asking questions and moving things around. Feel free to ask questions yourself, or just silence me and be like, no, Arthur, I want to ask that question. Or you can let me keep doing it. How are you guys feeling about this game, especially compared to your traditional role-playing experiences, which for some of you might just be D&D?
I really like it, honestly. It takes out all the dice roll, well, most of the dice rolling, and just allows you to do story. There's definitely some planning to be had beforehand, but I really like it. I enjoy it.
I'm good with it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I definitely am pretty much only played D&D, but once I realized this game is kind of like a collaborative write your own story, then it all clicked for me. And it was like, all right, this is totally cool.
Yeah, so like I said, you were having trouble with the rules ahead of time, but it's a game where you just start playing and it makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. You know, it might seem obtuse or difficult and obscure beforehand, but you just do it. You know?
Do it, yeah. It's literally
I mean, I call it the Mario Party, and so does Eric Vulgaris, who's the guy who introduced me to this. I mean, I feel like that's very apt with all the mini games and the party stuff. And oh, look, does Talana now? Is this her like militia in like her harness with her gun down here? And
yes,
that's the plan. Yeah.
Focusing a lot on Talana. Is she in your thoughts a lot, Ken?
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
Definitely a new way to use that one.
So, it's open at any time. Anyone can end the game. I feel like we're not quite at that point yet, or someone can propose another game. If no one has anything they want to do,
yeah, I'll stealing time together.
Very well. Who's your target?
The boss.
Oh my goodness, the boss? I'm blushing. You have to ask me how we came to be stealing time together.
You probably just asked me over to your state again.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Or, okay.
No, I feel like it would probably be, I want to see your place. Oof. I want to see where and how you live, you know?
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's dressing down, but he's not wearing pajamas, nor is he wearing the noble robes of the Voss household. He's probably just wearing like paramilitary fatigues and a very jaunty beret. Where are we? Like, where do you live? Where do you take me? Are we in like a revolutionary camp? Are we?
No, I typically take you to the city proper. Okay. I definitely will steer clear of all those kind of revolutionary areas and just kind of show you how, we go about our daily lives, the agricultural stuff that we have to go through, and kind of what overseeing this kind of takes a little bit.
Okay.
And ask you questions about your side of the, how your side is made and with our work.
So... we can ask, what do we notice about each other, and what have you heard? I want to ask, how is Talana dressed for this occasion, right? Like, is she wearing this paramilitary fatigue?
No, she's definitely...
I didn't think so.
Like villager clothes.
Okay.
Very plain, simple, maybe some light colors, but like brown, like work clothes almost, but like a little bit more dressed up because she knows you're coming.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's my question about what do I notice about you.
Yeah.
What's your attitude towards this? Is this like I'm touring a city that you've invited me to? You're showing me, how you live? Is this a date? Like, what level of spectrum? How close are we during this? What am I picking up?
It's not so much a date. Definitely want to show you the area. We are definitely closer than if we were just like business partners,
Okay.
but definitely a date.
Conducting the okay, so it should be said, our audience members are of course Connor and Robert. You may ask anyone for details about the location and circumstances at any time. Feel free to butt in. Converse as we like naturally. During the exchange, either of you may make an advance. The other then makes an answer to conclude the exchange. Return to the conversation or advance to the next exchange as you like. So I think Eric's going to start by just being like, it's been some time since I've come to this city, and I feel like it's changed ever since the event. Certainly there is more activity, more industry and bustle. I wouldn't say the people, they seem livelier, filled with purpose.
Then
You don't agree?
Indeed, this new era of prosperity for this planet has been a very uplifting experience for all of us. Although not perfect, it has lifted the spirits of many of the people here.
I don't know if it could ever be perfect. Obviously, the situation is, I wouldn't say far from ideal, but we can approach it carefully with consideration. The landowners seem willing to engage and speak in a way that interests me, in a way that will serve Bentral.
Do you really get that from them? I feel like they're just intermediaries to the interactions between ourselves and the nobility. I feel like they have no purpose here. They take and take and expect us to labor at their expense.
I will not deny that they are not of us. They are not citizens. As you heard from Ken himself, he has no intention of living here.
Yes.
But to the Solar Union, they own this place. And so some accommodation must be made. The money is going somewhere anyway. Even if even if the situation was optimal and ideal and the people themselves owned all of the things, someone would come and take it. Someone would always enforce their will over the people here. As much as Roger Kincaid speaks of a utopian socialist ideal of communism, that would never happen in this day and age, not in this society. Someone will always attempt to be at the top of the tree.
Why couldn't it be us? Why does it have to be them?
It doesn't have to be them. You were there with a conversation.
They say they see the beauty, but all they see is the dollar signs in the land and the trees and the workers.
I don't disagree.
It's not the same beauty that we see.
He does see some beauty, but he only represents a partnership, a group of landowners. I have taken him to places and he has been truly entranced and enthralled by what he has seen, but he is himself and not all. The best way to resolve this situation is to get them off of this planet. We must put the dragon back to sleep. We must let the dog lie. If we can remove them, convince them to go elsewhere, we can restore the natural balance. Perhaps a large portion of the wealth will flow to them, but it is far, far more wealth than this planet has ever seen. There will be plentiful left over to enrich the lives of everyone here. Why, I've read textbooks of ancient Earth civilizations like Texas, Alaska, and Del Hawar. In these places, all citizens of these ancient states received compensation from their government for the work that was done there, whether it was oil, or chickens. Rather than pay taxes, money was given back to them. With the wealth that flows out of Bentral, 3/4 or more could go to the landowners, and there would still be more than could ever be spent to enrich this planet. We would have money to set aside great and glorious lands, improve infrastructure. And he's like gesturing around to like a pothole in the street. Education. Automation. Why should we all have to work this land all of the time? I mean, no disrespect. You and the people of Bentral do an excellent job, but could we not find robots to do this for us and leave our people to pursue the lives that they wish? Yes, of course. There must be some who would oversee these robots and program them and work beside them for beautification. But what if everyone on this world could become an artist or a writer or simply debate philosophy all day long? We would have the wealth to do so if we could but get Ken away from here. If we could but bring Roger Kincaid to justice.
I wish only for a happy life for those who live on this planet, as well for the prosperity of its lands. What you say makes a lot of sense, and I'll come in a little bit closer.
Are you gonna make an advance on me?
I may try to grab your hand and just like bring it closer to me.
Hand holding?
Yeah, I know, scandalous.
You have to say the words. I touch your hand, may I?
I touch your hand, may I?
You may, but at this moment, we're interrupted. I don't know if it's a dog. I don't know if it's your family. I don't know if one of these two guys wants to show up out of nowhere.
Who makes that decision?
Anyone can.
Oh.
Where is this again?
We are in a small agrarian city that is near the resistance base, where they're harvesting the Bentral and their industrial mechs. And we're like walking around the area.
Eric, Talana, nice to see you guys.
Ken, what are you doing here? This is so far from your operation zone.
I am touring your wonderful planet. I like to take everything in.
So as this happens, I'm gonna squeeze Talana's hand and then like fold my hands behind my back, hoping that he didn't see that shit. Welcome. You're now part of the conversation.
And what are you guys doing here?
Just showing God, I forget your name.
Eric
again.
Voss.
Eric, I was just showing Eric the beautiful landscape that this world has to offer.
It truly is a magnificent scene.
I was hoping to learn more about the people who we represent. Ken, you and I, we represent these people and their interests, and we need to look out for them and understand them.
I agree.
As you said, you do not wish to live your life here, so someone must coordinate, administrate.
I agree, and it seems like from what the reports I've seen, this place is picking up impressively since the event. And it's interesting to see how much this planet can turn into with this great influx of capital that we've introduced.
The capital was already here, if I remember correctly. You just happened to...
No, the capital... We've brought all this prosperity to this planet.
I want to make an advance on Talana.
Okay.
I want to touch your shoulder by wrapping my arm around your shoulder. And may I?
Yes.
Okay. I say, Ken.
Yes.
Is this truly a conversation you wish to have? To argue with benevolent and hard worker of the planet as to where the prosperity comes from, who brought it? Such banality. It seems beneath all of us.
In this chance meeting, I didn't mean to bring up politics. I was just making an observation. I'll let you guys enjoy the scenery and bid you a good day.
I'll speak with you later.
I'm sure.
And I'll steer Talana away from him. Well, that was...
painful.
I wouldn't have said painful. Unlucky, perhaps?
Painfully unlucky.
I loosen my clothing, may I?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna like unbutton my top shirt button and loosen, take my beret off. Whoosh. Just kind of switch from like a hard military step to like a kind of looser guy ambling around, just looking at stuff. If only we could find... I'm sorry. It's so ridiculous to always be looking for this man. He seems set on destroying everything I have. And I have no idea why. Well, once I looked up to him. Roger Kincaid. I've read his poetry, his research papers, his thesis statements. He's a brilliant man, surely, but this violence, this destruction of property, it's so criminal.
Yes.
It is as if there are two Roger Kincaids.
His ideals do differ from his actions, I agree.
I feel as if he has been blinded to the reality of the situation. As if he has been cast into this villainous seat, if only by chance. If only there was some way to meet with him. And then I turn my head and look wistfully off into the sky, doing a Zoolander stare.
I may know of a way to contact him. Is there a meeting place you had in mind?
I would like to make an advance. I touch your hair. May I?
I'll walk forward, and your hand just kind of whisks by me as I step forward.
Oh, so now it's like real close.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're standing face to face, and I say, you know, if you could do this, we could all be free of outside influences. We could be united together. It's at that point you smell his, it's not a lot of cologne, but it's like it's a good smell.
It's a healthy dose.
Yeah, Yeah. You wouldn't have noticed it if you weren't this close.
3 spritzes and he walked into it,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because that's how my wife taught me to put on my cologne.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the standard, yeah.
It's a legit technique, okay?
Teenagers at home, you best get this shit done, because you're gonna this is a life skill you'll need. Learning how to tie your own tie and put cologne on, no one teaches you that shit. Get it right.
A shower and axe spray type of deal. It's 3 in the air and walk in. That's it.
I call that the prom move, okay? Oh, Jesus.
That is something I could get behind. A unified Bantral is something I've wished for since I was a child.
I feel as if Bantral is unified now. It is simply that those who have visited us from afar must return to where they have come from.
Well said.
Do we want to draw down a curtain unless there's something else you want to do here?
No, that's it.
Very well. That ends our stealing time together. That leaves everybody else. I would like to propose a conversation with Roger Kincaid.
That's perfect, because I was going to do the same thing.
You know what? I'll allow you to propose it to me then.
Okay.
Because that way I get to answer how we came to be eating together.
Okay, have at it.
Next level play here. I would like to be, if you feel like it, I don't want to force this on you, but if you feel like it, I'd like to be eating in your resistance camp. You know, like our mobile frames are nearby. Your resistance soldiers and my cousins and their mobile frames are all like lined up, and we're eating like tin spork and stove kit rations.
Okay, very good.
Okay. What do I notice about you that's changed since the last time we met?
You notice that my demeanor has changed. Like I used to be more easygoing, but I seem to be stressed and serious about everything that I do, and I just don't have a smile or anything. It's just almost breaking, you know, almost like a broken spirit.
Okay. If you don't have any questions for me, you are the lowest social standing character, so
Correct.
You get to open the play. Ask a topical question, engage in improvised conversation, pass or leave. It'd be really weird for you to leave on the first turn, though.
Yeah.
I just want to keep reminding you that technically you could do it. You could be like, Arthur, let's meet for a conversation. Then I leave.
You enjoy the food? Yeah.
I dropped the mic.
Get the hell out. I feel like that would be in keeping with what's happened so far.
Pretty much.
All right, so I'll start off. Right, I hope to get you to commit to getting the landowners off the planet. I've been hearing, I'll be honest, I've been hearing some good things about you, about sharing the prosperity for the planet, and that's ultimately what I'm after, regardless of the fighting that's taking place. So, can I count on you to commit to getting them off the planet?
Yes. I will counter with engage in actual improvised conversation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna like poke at some sort of spam with my spork, and I'm gonna eat it and be like, how quaint. It has been some time since my military training as a boy. Roger. Can I call you Roger?
Yes, you can call me Roger.
You seem so
Although,
weary.
I prefer Roger lately, so.
Roger, no issue. Roger, I must confess,
I like Roger.
I'm a fan.
Call me Roger.
I've been following your work for some time as a conservationist. I didn't realize that you were a revolutionary until you had come out as it, but your actions are confusing to me. You've shown up on my land. You're stalking me. You're shooting at, engaging in a sneak attack on the landowners. We can get these people to leave. We can distribute the wealth, if not evenly, fairly, to each according to their own needs. There's so much we could do to improve the lives of people here, beyond any other planet. We would not be lazy and listless, but an engaged population committed only to its own culture. But Roger, you have to stop this. Your actions, you are the progenitor of this conflict. I wish to smother the flame of war with peace, but you are the light bearer.
So I'll tell you that I am not going to back down until I am assured of the equality that will be granted to the general population.
I cannot grant equality to everyone. Someone must administrate. Someone must lead the unions. Someone must rule the planet. And we are all answerable to someone. If what you ask instead is not equality, but freedom and equity, that is something that I can grant.
Freedom and equity is a good way of putting it, because I don't want total chaos. If there's, we still need a good ruling system. We still need a good economic system.
Administration. Administration is the word that I would use.
Mm-hmm. Then I think we're in agreement there. As long as we can get a proportionate share of the resources and the blessings and the growth to the common population.
I already have such assurances from Ken Kunoishi.
I don't trust him much.
But do you trust me?
I don't know if I trust you all that much either, to be honest, but...
You've attacked my land, and yet I have come.
I didn't attack your land. I was scouting, and you confronted me. So, we drew swords, mutually, I would think. So
I could have cut you down, sir, and I did not, because I have respect for you. Can you at least trust in that I'm not here to spring a trap on you? If I wanted you dead, you would be dead. And that free-for-all, I did not lay a hand on you. Yes, I chased you,
and distracted me.
Yes, it was distracting, but you have justice to answer for, sir. You have justice to answer for. And that we can discuss at another time. If you don't trust me and you don't trust Ken, how can there be any part of this relationship? No, that is a useless question. Allow me to ask instead, what can I do to build trust with you? What do you need from me to finalize this? Everyone's on board. The people are on board.
I need an accord that is an agreement by the people, so a representative of the people, that grants them at least a amiable share of the profits that this planet can generate. So I don't want the elite taking the greater percentage. I want the greatest percentage going to the workers, and then administration and noblemen and even off-worlders can all partake in it. I just want the greater share going towards the workers.
I don't think that's going to happen. The greater share has to go to the landowners. I assure you, there is more than enough money left over after that part to bring utopia to this planet. But the greater share belongs to the people who own it.
The people didn't, the people who own it. Now, okay, so here's a question, not part of the game.
Okay, yep.
Who owned the land before it started being divvied up?
According to the lore of the game, the nobles were the leaders of the colonists that arrived, and they sold off parts of the land as it was necessary in order to raise money for themselves, but then the land was essentially worthless because the crystalline bantrel was worthless. It's like selling someone swamp in Florida is what happened.
Yeah, okay. So I have a hard time, how do I want to say this? Let me say this.
I understand. You wish to overcome the ghosts of the past, the great houses and their decisions, but we are long past that point. The land recognized by courts all across interstellar space, across the Solar Union, across the Terran Transit Authority, all of them recognize the landowners. You should be glad it is someone like Ken Kunoishi. What if some jackass had won it in a poker game and then showed up in some rust bucket with a dog creature and declared himself Supreme General of the planet? I'm making a Star Wars reference. Mm-hmm. That actually does happen in the expanded universe. Han Solo buys a planet in a poker game and then shows up and is like, I own you now.
Classic Han.
It's full of Force switches and they try to murder him. So, classic Han indeed. We cannot change the past. We cannot alter the circumstances that we are in now. We can only chart a course towards the future. And that future is one where the money will flow off planet. Our destiny need not leave us behind, however. Quietly and quickly, we can remove this Ken Kunoichi from the planet, send him back to wherever he came from, to further his life away, doing whatever activities he wants. Consider it a bribe to keep him and all of the landowners away from our beautiful planet that he, frankly, has no interest or part in. He comes and he looks at waterfalls and flowing fields and breathes in the majestic air of our mountains, but still, he wants to go someplace else, and that's fine. We don't need him here. You wish the greater portion of the wealth to go to the people, but that's a dream. That is an ideal. We do not deal in ideals, we deal in reality. And reality is that my ancestors and yours sold us out a long time ago. But we have an opportunity to thrive here, today, now. An opportunity to excel in a way that our ancestors could never have imagined. When they came here, they were seeking freedom from Terra, from Sol, from the government. And we've had a peaceful, agrarian life. But imagine the technology, the industry, the new heights that we could reach. We could show the universe what the people of Bantrell are. Equality, yes. Equity, yes. Sustainability. We could set a new standard. But it's all on you, Roger. Everything comes back to you. This agreement, the justice that needs to be paid for your crimes, the workers, all of them need to be behind you. Now, I have someone I believe could represent the resistance or the people of Bantrell, a Talana Khalil. 3 of us could arrive, Ken, myself, Talana. She would act as president of the workers' union, representative of Bantrell. Maybe you act as her secretary or something after you serve some probation for your crimes. You're never going to get most of the money going to the workers, but we can get much more money than you could ever dream going to the workers.
What crimes are you thinking that I've committed here?
There are reports of you engaging in combat with the landowners. There are reports of mech theft from the resistance. You attacked a landowner on my property.
I defended another mech.
You were striking first. You drove out of the sky. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
If Ken is here and you are caught, he will have you killed. I am a much more reasonable man. If we can get him gone, and I am left as administrator of the planet, your sentence will be reduced down to simple probation. You'll do publicity appearances to talk about conservation ideals and perhaps clean up some trash somewhere. And then you can go back to helping clean up this planet, removing trash and shaping the future of this world. Will crystalline Bantrell always be necessary? Will the wealth always flow off this planet? Perhaps some point in the future, tomorrow, 2 months, 20 years, 20 generations, a new chemical formula will be developed and crystalline Bantrell will be left behind. We need to do whatever we can in the time we have now to create a system on this planet. Sustainable, wealthy, prosperous. But it's all on you, Roger. I've done a lot of talking, and you've done a lot of listening. What do you have to say?
I have one more thing to say.
So he'll tilt his head, and then he'll eat a little bit of the spam, and then like half the spam will return to the plate.
You need to prove your words with actions. I'm not going to commit myself to your probation for something that I believe was not done outside of the law. You know, my whole point is I'm defending what I believe and what my camp here believes is the right thing to do. So you prove your actions by getting the landowners off this planet, whether you're administrator or not, and then you and I can have a conversation on how I might turn myself in at that point. But until something happens, me and my forces, we're going to be defending the common people.
I want you to understand, Ken will never leave as long as you remain outside of custody. We could wrap this up today. Come back with me to my estate. Right now.
It's not going to happen.
We could do this. We could do this today.
Do we ever go back to topical questions?
Yes, if you'd like to, because I was engaging in roleplay, so it's technically your turn.
Yeah. So that was my thing. You know, I mean, still in the roleplay, it's like it's not going to happen. I'm not going to budge. I'm not being persuaded by your conversation because it's just words at this point. I need to see actions.
This is a non-starter between us. The landowners will never leave as long as you are free, because you are a threat to them. You want me to trust... You expect me to prove myself to you. But you need to prove yourself to me. You say that you haven't committed any crimes, but by anyone's standard, you have. I don't want to see you painted as the villain in this story. I respect your ideals. But even you must recognize that there is so much more going on here.
I've made my position clear. I defend the people until the bitter end if I have to.
If I walk away from here and we don't have an agreement, you need to understand that it could come to war. The entire rest of the planet hunting you down.
It's been a good conversation. I look forward to meeting you on the battlefield again.
I leave. It's super sad when I leave too. Like, I eat the last bite of that Spam and I just leave the tin there. There's like the beginning of a tear as I look at this guy that I consider to be a teacher. And then start climbing up my mech. You're asking how gay is the situation, the setting, Kelsa? I don't think that it's gotten particularly gay yet. No. Firebrands does tend to get pretty gay at some point. Especially because we have 3 dude characters. Yeah, I mean, I took off my hat at one point, but...
Depends on how much you think Spam is gay.
I have no answer to that.
There was not supposed to be an answer to that.
Bearded? Connor?
Yeah.
Myself? Anybody got us? Oh, wait, no. Bearded, did you already did one, right?
Yeah,
so it's back to me and Connor.
That's right.
Connor, do you...
Let me go back up to the things.
Flort. Oh, we did a flort already. That was my, what was it? Stealing time together?
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
If only I could get Roger Kincaid on my side. It might be nice. It might be nice. Oh, Connor, if you're not going to put one forward.
Hey, he's looking.
I'm looking. What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm thinking it might be time to put an end to Roger Kincaid. Like, I don't really want to do this, but the story is bringing us in this direction.
Yeah. I mean, I was considering it too, and I was debating a tactical skirmish or free-for-all.
I mean, if you win a tactical skirmish, you go right ahead. Are you prepared?
Let's see.
Connor's prepared to do anything.
I'll do that. Skirmish. All right.
So your partner is Roger Kincaid?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the attacker and who's the attacked? Is this Roger making a desperate stand against Ken, or is this Ken wiping out the criminal final resistance on the planet?
Shep, I'll let you take it if you want. Do you want to be the attacker?
I do.
Okay. That's interesting.
Since that happens, Shep, you are choosing how the battle came to be.
All right, so feeling that he's losing ground all around and not being able to contact anyone else from the resistance, my forces will attack the off-world forces.
Oh boy. How many soldiers do each of you lead? It should be a number between 3 and 8.
So I'll say 5.
Okay, I'll bring 4.
Wow, putting himself at a disadvantage. Hashtag shocked. All right, be prepared to name each one by rank, code name, relationship to you, or position in the force.
Is one of them Kaz?
Your second, the shield guy. His name is Kazador.
He's got a new shield now.
Oh man.
I want to know about the landscape. What does your base look like, Ken? Like, are we talking like Iraq military contractor, mech height fencing, barbed wire, searchlights and guns? Is this like a chateau in the woods where you and your chill bros hang out? Like
the mobile deployment command. It's basically like a giant airship. I think Avatar had one of these kind of things.
Sick.
Like
Yep. No, I'm down with it.
Right? And we're patrolling the perimeter, or we're at maybe like just outside.
I love the idea that this airship, suddenly there's explosions all along the side, and like mechs suddenly pour out of it, and they're like, "What's happening? What's going on?" Take turns making demands of each other. The attacker makes the first demand. Since the attacker is you must make the demand, Shep.
All right, let's see here. So now,
sorry. Before we go on,
yeah.
If you agree, you all can each invite other players to your side, but you must both agree to anyone that's invited.
Right.
Okay. So
if you want to.
Right. So I would invite the rest of the
resistance. Yes.
Yeah.
You could attempt to do that.
So Bearded's character.
Only if Connor and Bearded agree.
To what?
Allowing you to join the fight.
Oh, got it.
Now, I want to point out, you don't technically have to join the fight on the Resistance's side. You just show up in character, and you could be like, Kincaid, we're bringing you in.
Okay.
Connor, do you agree?
No.
You're saying no? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree if Eric Voss comes. But
so your agreement is a double one.
Yeah.
We show up as a package.
Yeah, or none.
Do you agree?
I agree.
I agree.
Very well. Everybody's here now.
This is just turned into a free-for-all.
We now go around the table. So now everybody gets to make demands. On your turn, choose an enemy and make a demand. It starts with you.
This is 27?
Yeah, 26 to 27.
Got it.
You now get to make a demand, Shep.
All right, so give me an example here. So on this first one, right, it says submit, withdraw now, or my force spreads itself too thin, and you pick off blank who was straggling.
Yep, so each of these is basically like, you must surrender to me or one of my guys dies. So if you want to keep making demands of people and like keep in the fight, you have to start costing you your own men.
Okay, all right, so basically...
Remember, you have to name all these people, so...
I make a demand, but I lose something.
That's correct.
And that lets me continue the fight.
Indeed.
All right.
I want to point out that you have more men than he does.
Yeah, I remember that.
Are you truly willing to kill all of your men in a desperate attempt to take him out?
Yep, so I'm going to do the submit, withdraw now, or you're able to draw out Maverick out of position and cut them down.
Not Maverick. Not Maverick. What are you going to do, Ken? Not Maverick.
Where's
if you
Goose?
surrender, Maverick could stay alive.
Which one is that? Sorry.
So that's one of his 5 men is named Maverick.
Okay.
So you get to pick. You can withdraw or submit to him, or you can just kill Maverick.
I'm killing Maverick.
Oh no.
Damn.
Talk to me how this goes down. Is it you that goes in? Is it Kazador? Is it one of your dudes? He gets cut down, so this is like shing.
So these explosions that go off along the side of the road, you guys jump out, and then immediately Ken whips around with a like mobile lance type gun, like a giant kind of like rail gun type deal. Just caps him right in the face.
Oh shit! Maverick like jumps in front of the shot, and his mobile frame goes down. Now it's free for all. Any of the 3 of us besides Robert can make a demand of any enemy pilot. I gotta ask which side Talana's on.
Do you guys have your people? Are you gonna deploy them now?
No, we deploy as ourselves.
Us. Yeah. Yeah, it's just me. So I took a bunch of mechs and piled them together in one cool like mech sword, so I don't have my lance anymore. But aside from that, I'm gonna do submit, withdraw now, or I catch Robert at an inattentive moment and cut them to pieces.
You're attacking Roger Kincaid?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Roger. The resistance shows up and betrays you immediately.
I am betrayed, huh?
Submit or withdraw. Well, technically you get to pick when you say it. Do you say submit or do you say withdraw? You get to pick which one you tell him to do. You know, withdraw is a lot easier to handle than you're under arrest and we're going to kill you.
But your men wouldn't die.
But your men wouldn't die. Which one do you pick, Bearded? Submit or withdraw?
For him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, so you pick which side of that it is. You say submit now
submit.
or withdraw now?
Yeah, submit now.
Okay, he's saying submit. You've been betrayed by the resistance. Your men could die if you don't. What do? Do you just sacrifice?
Oh wait. So which bullet? What's my sacrifice again?
You'll sacrifice one of your men for this.
So I think he will sacrifice another man because he's now going into a rage at the betrayal. He's feeling like there's no way out of this situation. So Gunner is gone.
All right, someone is saying I actually did this wrong. Bearded and I do bring in a force, and we choose men from our own force to sacrifice. So you're not losing Gunner.
Okay.
Talana's losing one of her resistance fighters. So how many resistance fighters did you bring?
Probably 2, I guess.
By the way, I'm bringing 8. I'm bringing my whole extended family into this fight. We going ham. So what is the name of this person that you want to throw in the sacrifice block?
Mortrick?
Nice.
Oh my god. Do you want to kill Mortrick? Or will you submit? Kincaid?
Oh, I'm not submitting. So Mortrick's goner.
Oh shit, Mortrick is dead.
No one tell Nick.
Man, I gotta tell you, like, when the resistance hops on one of their own, Voss is confused as hell. He's just like, resistance pilots, what's going on over there?
I'll probably come in to you and be like, we're on your side.
Talana? You're a captain in the resistance?
We're here to help. I'm here for the greater good.
Yep, that sounds right to me. Yep.
Yeah.
Ken, I'm here. Make sure to set all of those resistance mechs. These 2 remaining mechs are on our side. Don't attack them.
That is noted for now.
What do you mean for now? That doesn't sound good. That sounds bad.
Sounds like it's noted. I've
Not
noted their behavior. Okay. And is it my turn then?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah. Submit now, or one of your units engages Frank and at close quarters and carves their guts out.
I do not submit.
So I lose Frank. Right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Can you describe to me, Roger, how you remove the guts of Frank?
I eviscerate him. So Frank comes up to attack, but my mech has been upgraded so it can be extra tanky, and so that surprises Frank when he comes up, and then I'm able to cut across him with my blade after, while he was surprised.
That's my turn. The skirmishes. That's the thing. I don't want to withdraw, but I also don't want to kill you. I will say... I, Eric Voss, offer to you, Roger Kincaid, withdraw, not surrender, withdraw, or you catch Rave and an inattentive moment and cut him to pieces. Now, this is my second favorite cousin, okay? I want you to recognize he's taken a lot of time to customize his mech. There's a lot of Fox pictures on it. He's hand-painted them, and that's pretty tough for a 30-foot tall war machine, right? Like, Fox is hanging out together, Fox is playing. Yeah, this is a beautiful work of art. You could run away now, or you could murder my second favorite cousin, Rave. It's your choice.
I'm in a rage. so there goes your cousin.
Tell me how you
does
kill
he,
him.
does he get an exhaustion after he's done raging?
Tell me how you murder him. I want to know how you destroy him.
And his beautiful piece of artwork.
Yeah, you know what? When he made an advance on my mech, and I'll say that my crew are waiting for command, so this is all on me. So when he makes an advance on my mech, I launch the missiles. They do enough damage to his mech to take him out.
I hold my mech's hand out as I hold my hand out in the cockpit and go, no! As he explodes on my cockpit canopy. Like tears stream from my face. Rave! My second favorite cousin! Damn you, Kincaid! I wanted you to withdraw! You could have lived another day! It's back to you, Kincaid. You can, you got some choices here.
Mm-hmm.
You can, make a demand or withdraw. Make a demand.
I'm looking.
Or withdraw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
There's like my heart. It's like what direction to go, because we know where this is going to go. I don't have enough men.
But you're gonna kill a lot. I want to point out, because these two have fewer men than you do, they have to lose one every single time that they engage with you, which means they're going to run out of men a long time before you do. Their whole units are going to be smoking ruins. They could be killed or captured.
Well, a lot. Yeah, but I think.
Unless you withdraw now.
Yeah, but then we're going in circles.
We could be going in circles. We could withdraw and you could declare end game and we could see what happens in the end game. Or, someone might want to fight you out sword to sword.
Maybe.
Could happen.
All right, that's fine. We'll see what happens. I'll withdraw.
You withdraw?
Yep.
I think it's my turn.
Yep.
I would love to have a sword to sword meeting with you, Roger Kincaid.
You just convinced me to withdraw.
I know, and I literally said we could beat sword to sword, and then you're like, okay, and I was like, all right, that's exactly what's gonna happen. No, I mean, I'm gonna chase you down, not in the mobile frame. I wanna chase you down IRL. Like this is like at your, well, you're my chosen partner. I feel like we're standing alone sword to sword, as the setup says. I would like to say it's in your like cave hideout, your last resort. All of your men have been left behind. It's just you and me, mano a mano. Do you agree?
I agree.
I would like to ask, what do I notice about you? What's different since the last time I met you? I'm thinking maybe you're bloody and covered in dirt and in complete rage, but maybe you're lethally calm.
You've wrecked your entire area.
Yeah, I think he's actually very calm, as if he's made a decision internally. And so he stands ready to face you.
Anyone can ask for details about the location and circumstances at any time.
What's the area we're looking at? Are we in a cave or?
What would be your last redoubt, Roger?
Yeah, it is a cave. Yeah, it is a cave. There's electronics and material components around, some mech gear around. But it is unfortunately pretty empty. It seems like my resistance crew have a change of heart. So it looks like I'm the last man standing.
We don't have to do this, Kincaid. If you come in with me now, we can still resolve this peacefully. But I think you can see that even the people of this planet have turned against you.
All I ever wanted was for everyone to be treated equally, and somehow this got turned around.
I understand. We can set it right. You just have to put the sword down and come with me.
So I pretend to falter and dip my blade. Do I draw you out, or do you recognize the ploy and hold steady?
Ah, right into the sword play.
What does your character think?
I know. I actually think I'm better than you.
He's basically your teacher. He's your senpai.
Yeah. I think you do draw me out. I try to knock the blade out of your hand. And you're ready for it.
Is that the question? Oh, but I'm ready
That's
for
my
it.
answer to your question.
Yep.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
try to knock it out of your hand and it doesn't work because you're ready for it. And I'm like, we don't have to do this. I
So I
circle
launch-
swords touching.
Okay.
What do you say to me?
It's too late for me to change. I can't go back. You're gonna have to kill me.
It's not too late. We can disappear you. A new identity. Somewhere on this planet where you can live in peace. In the nature that you love.
I launch a sustained attack with my weight behind it. Do you give ground readily or grudgingly?
Oh, so grudgingly. As you just keep attacking it. I block it with every bit of that Swordmaster spirit that the warrior prince Erik Voss has. Tears are still streaming down his face, and he just says, "You killed my second favorite cousin, Rave. I don't want to have to hurt you. Why can't you just stop? Stop this madness."
Stop this blindless
And
violence.
I slowly fall back. And then I went, you went. So now I can ask a closing question if I wanted to. I seize the momentum and initiative and drive you backward. If you stand, throw. On a heads, you drive me back. On a tails, I cut you through, killing you. Do you stand, or do you allow yourself to be driven through?
I stand.
Make a throw.
It's a throw, right?
Yep. On a 2, you die.
Okay. I can do it here, right? Oh. No. So I gotta do it this way. suspense killing you yet?
Yes, it is
Yes.
actually.
R/, right?
1d2.
I think it's /R.
Is it /R?
Slash R. Yeah, slash R.
1d2.
Have we
Oh, I
chosen-
hit the wrong button. Oh, let's try this button.
Did you choose which one's which?
Yeah, 2 kills me.
Yep.
Got it.
After having had to fall back, I wide slashes, powerful moves until finally I get the lunge in. Once I've got you programmed to watch for the slashes, mid slash I stop and go for the lunge. You're unable to stop it, and I drive it right through your heart. And as I push the sword closer and closer to you, I'm like, I'll do it, Roger. I will bring peace to these people, prosperity, equality, equity, everything that you stood for, and then I'll turn the blade. With or without you. Then I pull the sword out and I flick it so all the blood comes off and sheathe it super badass style before returning it back to my belt. I feel like now's a great time to do the ending play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To end play, go around the table one last time. On your turn, bring up any unresolved questions you have about the character's fate. Say what you think possible outcomes could be. The other players can contribute possible outcomes as well. Everyone votes to determine which possible outcome is the one that comes true. So, just to be clear, each of us will go around and say things about our character or other people's characters. We will outline things that could happen in them, and then we'll vote to see which one happens to each person.
So
I feel like we should start with you. What are you interested in seeing? Right? What do you think the possible outcomes of all this could be? Do you have any questions about anybody's fate?
I think a possible outcome is that the people will finally rise up against the landowners and drive away. What's your character's name? I should know from the whole game.
Ken Kionishi.
Yeah, and Ken. Thank you. And drive away Ken. So I think that's a possible outcome.
I think it's equally possible that having signed an agreement, Ken leaves the administration behind to the Voss family and is never heard from again. Just receives a pretty wealthy bank account payment every month.
Now that the rebels have dispersed, Ken doesn't find himself in a nearly as disadvantaged a position. They've been run roughshod by Eric, and he gives far less than I guess you were initially thinking out of the deal.
I mean, that is a possible outcome. Do you have a possible outcome? I mean, and we're only concentrating on one thing. There can be many outcomes here. We haven't talked about character interdynamics. But Bearded, do you have something you want to put forward real quick?
Yeah. As Ken leaves the planet, Talana would probably come with her night mech to the capital, to you, and pledge her loyalty. Yeah.
Oh shit, pledge loyalty. I thought it was going to be murder.
For the betterment of the planet.
Well, keep in mind
But
that
also-
the deal that Ken signed regarding ownership was only with Eric. It was solely with Eric's. It's solely
Right,
the
and
purview of Eric to
she's saying she
distribute
pledges herself to House Voss to join us
Sorry?
at night.
Sorry, I didn't. I had. What was that?
She's not betraying me. She's saying in her outcome, she pledges herself to House Voss as a knight.
I understand. I'm just also letting Bearded know. Like,
Well, I want to point out
deal-
your image of what happens might not be what we all vote on, Connor.
Okay.
This is going to be
sure.
decided democratically
Oh, I see.
by all of the people you've been trying to step on.
America.
I wasn't sure if it was sort of like dynamic play, and then therefore, like whatever anyone says at that point is what happens. Or
We
what?
are, imagine this is the end of a Mass Effect game and there are multiple paths and you have to pick red, blue, or green. We're making the color rainbow and then we'll vote collectively and whichever gets the highest votes wins. Audience, I feel like if you guys have an ending you want to see, let us know.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing up a possible outcome, I want to know about the fate of Ken. Whether he stays on the planet or not, what is his future plans as his company owner?
Right now, he is going after Talana because now he recognizes. Yep. Now he recognizes that Talana has been playing you, and
playing me.
Yep, playing you. Well, I mean, you invited the Viper into your nest.
Oh my goodness. Ken, you're going mad with power now.
Roger was right all
Roger
along.
was right all along. All right, I have a possible outcome that I would like to register. In the aftermath of Roger's death, the resistance forces across the planet unite behind Talana, and though Ken wishes with everything in his fiber to destroy her and strike her down, he is forced to recognize that Talana is more powerful and popular than ever as the head of the People's Resistance. He goes off-world with the original agreement he signed with Eric Voss, content to live out his days somewhere else, fighting other people's wars for giant piles of cash. I just want to propose that one because I like that ending because it leaves me in power. No one else dies. You know what? Let me add some caveats to that. As he leaves, Ken orders the construction of the Roger Kincaid Memorial Statue to overlook the Capitol and remind everyone of the sacrifice that had to happen to bring this insane madman down. But over the next 20 years, it has turned into a memorial of a hero, a man who died in a desperate situation with the vision to bring change to the planet. And that with his passing, unity came about. That's my bullshit. Anybody else can add to it.
Certainly is.
I don't like Connor's ending. I don't like the ending where he stays and keeps fighting.
Well, I didn't understand like what we were doing yet.
We could keep adding possible endings.
After Talana submits herself to being a knight in the Voss Empire, she gets closer to you and ends up becoming a queen to your king.
I mean, the best way to unite administration between union and owner is to just get married, right?
Marriage, yeah.
That way is very complicated.
So you're gonna have kids and name your first kid Roger?
I'll name my first kid Rave, but the second kid can be named Roger.
We're gonna name it. Yeah, Rave was your cousin that died. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I liked him more than I like Roger. I mean, I like Roger a lot, but Rave, he died for our sins.
Honorably.
Yeah. I mean, there are several outcomes here. Can we come to a conclusion?
Yes.
Connor, it sounds like yours might not be popular.
Well,
your outcome is the literal worst ending. You're like, I stay on the planet and cause a bloodbath. I betray our agreement and try to get better terms out of it. And also, she's a Viper.
yeah, that's true.
I think your outcome is a little realistic and frightening and capitalistic, and I don't like it. I want it to go away.
It is the realistic solution, though.
That's a whole nother episode right there.
That's what I was thinking. He's setting up the sequel right there.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the alternate ending becomes the animated series. Kelsa Delphi in chat, aka at Kelsa on Twitter, runs a every other week game of Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands. So setting up the next game is the thing they do quite often. Yep. There's a lot of smooching, and it's super gay.
Mick's not going to be here for a couple more times, so...
We're playing Made RPG next week. Calm down.
That's next week. What about the week after?
I mean, you guys can play the punching bag maybe next time, and I can play the fun revolutionary.
I feel like don't even think that you're the punching bag.
Everybody got some punches.
He died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the. I went from I'm the hero of the story to somehow becoming the villain, then becoming the martyr. It's like what the heck happened?
You didn't become the villain. You became the played person because Eric played both of you guys.
He definitely made me the scapegoat.
He played both of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
So look,
That's what he does.
if you enjoyed Mobile Suit Zero Firebrands, you can Google Love and Banterful Skyfo's Dive and watch Kelsa and her group play it every other week. It's pretty freaking sweet. I've played it before with Kelsa and Eric Vulgaris. So we still have some endings to choose here. We can pick and choose what we want. What do we want to do?
I'll tell you right now, I'll vote for the one that you said, AP.
The one where everybody's happy and Ken leaves without murdering anybody?
Yeah. And
I mean-
and there's a statue drawn up for
Oh
Roger,
yeah, there's a
and-
statue of Roger Kincaid that eventually comes to be recognized not as
love
the
the statue.
scary boogeyman, but
Yeah, the martyr
as
of the people.
as a martyr,
Yeah.
as an ideal.
Do we feel like we want to play this again eventually?
I mean, do we have Ken come back? He's
Because
like,
if so, his story would be the best, so that we can continue it. If not, then I go with yours.
that's a
Plus
great
mine.
question. I mean, the Revenge of Ken Kiyono Ishii is an interesting one, and Shep will get to come back with a new character from any from any faction, because each of us is already a member of a faction.
Yep.
I'm game with that. I think that'd be interesting.
All right.
Okay,
Then I choose
is that the
Connors.
popular vote then? The new ending is all of the good endings are pushed off the screen. Instead, the final limit is Ken Kiyono Ishii speaking with Eric Voss, and he's just like, I need to renegotiate the deal. The terms are no longer favorable to me. And then he like picks up a picture of Talana and like pins it to his cockpit and is telling his men, this is the woman we're looking for. Is that the fatal final scene?
You are also filthy rich, but yes,
And
I'm not
also
as filthy
Talana-
rich as you, but you know,
I'm a go-between. But
you've
yeah,
betrayed me at the
and
last
also-
second.
And also, Talana becomes your knight, so we'll see how that goes.
Wow. Man, that's gonna get really complicated because I'm gonna be like, you can't kill her. She's in my entourage, and you're like, she's a filthy terrorist, and I'm like, you're supposed to leave, Ken. You're supposed to leave.
I had these plans. You ruined them.
You're ruining everything. Peace could be had, and all you want is blood. That's it. That's our ending. The ending is called All You Want Is Blood. And it's just a picture of Ken
blood.
smiling.
That's the episode of the second part of this on YouTube.
Oh my god. Look at this. This is definitely Roger being stabbed in the heart.
yeah. I'm
Oh, it's
tired.
breaking my heart, Connor. Why would you do this? Why would that be the scene that you draw?
It's a good scene.
No, it's terrible. I didn't want to stab him. I just didn't want him to kill me.
Yeah.
I couldn't let that end in my death.
Right?
It was a good story. That was a lot of fun.
It was super fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very good. Thank you, AP.
Oh, I mean, next time one of you guys could moderate this. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on with.
Again, that's for sure.
You've got to be
You
Ken.
have to be Ken. That's the whole point of this
That's
site.
part 2.
If
Yeah.
you want to be Ken, then we got to go with the cool, like everybody lives
I mean, you could play another landowner, right? You could
That's
be
true.
Ken's replacement after he's been killed by the resistance.
Or how about Ken's son? And this could be years and years later after
Oh,
the
shit.
statue has been erected. And
I don't think
Yeah.
we went with the statue ending. I think
There's
we
no
went with the
statue.
Ken's immediate.
man, I wanted the statue.
I know, but Bearded made a really good case for a second episode. So
Yeah.
look, here's my selling point to you.
Now my death is in vain.
No. Let me sell this to you. I'm gonna pre what's it called when you fuck up with a jury? I'm gonna tamper with your play. You ready for this? If you want
Okay.
that statue, whatever character you have next time, it's got to be on Eric Voss's side in order to drive Ken out. I'm telling you, you put Eric in power, that statue's gonna get made. There you go. I just tampered with another player. I am
Yeah.
bad.
You're like that's meta playing. You can't do that.
Oh, I
yeah.
can do that. Who you gonna report me to?
Yeah.
Me?
I am the DM.
It checks out.
Myself.
I'm just the moderator host here. I'm not the DM this time around, but I could be. turns out Kelso was also drawing the scene where I murdered him. Damn.
We didn't get to this, but my second fighter in that battle, his name is Hal.
So glad he didn't die. I am way better with sacrificing Mortrick than I am with Hal. Wow, we went almost the whole time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with us.
Let's wrap this up. You know, let's talk about outros. I want to talk to the real hero of the story, and normally I would just say myself, but it's actually Shep. You took on the burden of just somehow you continuously got painted into being the bad guy, and then things kept going wrong for you, and it snowballed, and you took it into this pile of rage, and you made this heroic last stand for your ideals, and you were like, I won't back down. It's every Rambo movie I've ever seen.
Yep.
Do it now, kill me.
Yeah. Hey, well, you know, AP, like we said off camera, and I'll say it for the other folks here. When I didn't know what to expect from this game, but at some moment in the game early on, I realized it was collaborative storytelling, and it was at that point I'm like, oh, you know what? Where I thought it would go is not where it's going. So I embraced it and had fun with it. And yeah, at some point I'm like, all right, I'm the villain of the story.
Yeah, it's just
it wasn't planned that way
without all the roles and modifiers.
Yeah. So
that's not what happened, though. Eric just totally made you the villain.
Look, that
you didn't become the villain.
He had some decisions and he made them. Okay, it wasn't completely AP.
Yeah, it wasn't completely, because Roger made decisions to, fight to the bitter end. So, and he could have withdrawn. He was given opportunity, but he didn't.
I mean, you were doing what a revolutionary does.
That's right.
Look, Connor, as much as you want to paint
some
me,
preconceived notions of what a revolutionary would do, Connor.
Well,
that sounds pretty racist.
Well, he did.
Connor, I love that you're trying to paint me as the bad guy by saying I've painted other people as the bad guy.
Well, that's what happened.
Connor's
trying to play us. That's what's going on.
Is that what happened, Connor? I mean, what you're saying is that I engaged in a 4-hour intrigue to trick everybody at this table into agreeing with me to allow me to remain in the position of ultimate power and wealth while everyone else just accepted it. I think that's kind of what happened, though, right? Like, it's so weird how that worked out. Completely accidental, though, Connor. I swear.
I started as a resistance fighter and ended up being a knight/queen. So
yeah, well, I mean, the queen thing could still happen in the future. Yeah. Let's not let's not toss those cards away.
Look, I've seen Ronald Swan.
Yeah,
I know what you can do.
First off, don't assume that just because some of my characters are sociopaths that are really good at rearranging the situation to suit their needs means that all. Yeah, that's what I did tonight.
Yeah.
I told you going in that was exactly what I was going to do, though.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to be Bentroll, but I couldn't.
But when you're not being a Bentroll, what else are you doing, Connor?
You could be a Bentroll next time. You could play a totally new character.
Yeah.
You could play the son of Ken, a half Bantroll, half landowner.
Oh, it could be fun. Yeah, well, when I'm not here, on Twitch at twitch.tv/conorhughes, we'll be doing some character designs this week. So tune in. How about you guys?
Bearded.
Yeah, Bearded Jalapno on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. Bearded JALAPNO. Do commissions and try to survive intrigue and getting killed and whatnot. What about you, Shep?
So I'm Robert Shepard, PlanetKhaos on Twitch and Instagram. PlanetKhaos art. I don't think I'm ever going to say it right the first time. Ever.
You gotta switch it, man.
We'll get you there. The last episode.
I looked at all of the other social media things, and they're all PlanetKhaos. Only Twitch and Instagram is PlanetKhaos art. So yeah, maybe I'll do a switch. But I draw D&D monsters all the time. I'll be drawing some game creators coming up. So, and I probably will be streaming again tonight in about another hour. So hope to see some guys come visit and come on by. AP. Oh, Connor. You know what? You don't have to be this character, but I think I'm drawing a blank here. What's your character, AP?
Eric Voss.
Eric Voss.
Yeah, so Eric. Oh, I have two things to say about Eric Voss.
Oh God, here we go.
Can't wait to hear.
Eric Voss should definitely be in the next game, in my opinion. But okay. And do you guys know who Eric Voss is?
No, a character in this game.
No, he's a YouTube guy that does movie previews all the time. Yeah, I was gonna check it up, but yeah, his name's Eric Voss. So every time you're talking about Eric Voss, I'm thinking of that YouTube guy that does the movie previews all the time.
I'm gonna surprise you.
And that's why you're dead.
I based Eric Voss off of the guy that I'm about to host next, Eric Vulgaris, the guy who introduced me to this show. It's Eric, and then Voss means fox, which is Eric's go-to animal.
Okay.
Spoilers, everybody.
Is there a second thing you were going to say about me? About Eric Voss?
I think that was.
You said two things, but I think that was only one thing.
He wanted you to play in the next game, and
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, technically Connor could play Eric Voss, and wouldn't that be wild?
Oh, that would be a good
Connor's like, Eric Voss is a sociopath. He keeps arranging everything, and then he's like, no, wait, I'm Eric Voss? How did that happen?
yeah, and then he'll just play me again.
I feel like
Well, if that's the case, I want to play Talana.
Before let's
imagine
wait
being
before we start stealing everybody's characters.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time.
Bearded play Ken. That's what I want to see.
We don't look. We don't need to character shuffle
that's an
quite yet.
alternate universe we're not going into.
Do we all hand our character sheet to the person to the left of us?
That'd be fun.
Oh my God.
It'll be a while before we're missing Mick again. Let's think about it. Let's not make any rash decisions.
Ken is that meme from Always Sunny where he's like explaining this chart behind us with like string and pieces of paper, and he's like, smoking and like crazy eyes.
I feel like he's Biff from Back to the Future.
Maybe like a mix of the two.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, I don't think so.
Really? You don't think he's the crazy old dude that owns everything? That could...
I just came here to instill the rule of law. I don't know why things got crazy.
Yeah, and not honor your agreements.
Yeah, not look.
The great thing about that is he has a VOD and a YouTube channel you can check out, so you can watch again how that happened.
My goodness.
and vote. And vote in YouTube. Who betrayed who first?
Vote now, YouTube comment
The
section.
contract was not written down. Like, we didn't negotiate terms until after.
Just so you know, verbal contracts are still binding.
No, binding, but I mean the numbers weren't worked out, right?
You know what? That's your call. I feel like Eric Voss definitely had the numbers worked out already. He had a whole document ready to go, waiting for your signature.
Right, but then you went and killed it when you went and killed Roger. That changes the whole playing field.
Look at this guy. He's literally he's smugly smiling. He's like, look at how Eric tricked everybody, and he's just like, I just want to renegotiate. Now that the revolutionaries are dead, I feel like I should get a bigger cut of the money for some reason.
But see, Connor's still playing the game. We just haven't realized it.
Never stop. Never stop playing the game.
All right.
Set up your demands, Connor.
My demand is that we end the show on time.
Yes. Right. We all got it.
I'm Arthur Perkins. This has been AP Gaming Real. Let us know, who is your favorite character? Who was your favorite villain? Was Roger right? Was his stand righteous or foolish? Let us know in the comments section. And you know what? Show up next week for Made RPG. Or don't, and show up for the next, D&D session. There will be way less Made filled. And have a good night. We'll see you then.
Later, guys.
Good night, everyone.